I might just be the boogeyman, or maybe, just maybe, I released a short the other day of the Microsoft CEO and some other CEO talking about how white collar, low level, entry level, task based roles are going away. The same thing that Jensen Wong spoke about on the Joe Rogan podcast about how task based roles, they're going to be out of there. So you need to pivot to giving value to doing value added jobs, things that require you to think and not just to do. I'm gonna tell you this, right? People felt some type of way about this. At the end of the day, though, it's not really about how you feel. Nobody with power at least cares how you feel. Not the Democrats, not the Republicans, not the Independents, not the Green Party, not the Democratic Socialists of America, not the Socialists of China or any other place, not the communists. Nobody cares about you. You have to care about you, and you have to adjust. You cannot be up in your feelings, in your feels all the time. So what I want to do, I wanted something weird. We are going to review myself for a second here, and I want to play this video so we can get the context of what this was about. And then we're going to dive deep into the truth of the matter. No sympathy, no empathy, nobody cares. Nobody's going to save you. You have to do it for yourself. So just to get some context, what are the CEO, I think it was Microsoft and some other CEO who are talking about this, about how low level, entry level, and before you say, there's no such thing as a low level job. Yes, there is. Low level, entry level, task-based roles are going away. We're going to have a discussion about that.
Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman is predicting most white-collar tasks could be automated within 12 to 18 months. He says that the shift is already visible in software engineering, as AI has already transformed the work by driving the next generation of robotics across industry and across defense. Humanoid robots emerging as the future of warfare, the U.S. accelerating AI integration into combat operations. San Francisco-based Foundation Future Industries is developing humanoid robots built specifically for military use. The company is
And the funny thing about it, like, people are getting all upset about it, but wouldn't you want to remove human danger inside of warfare or whatever it might be? Like, you know, if you can have some things that reduce the risk of loss of human life, I mean, war isn't a great thing in the first place, but now you're putting people in there. People are like, oh no grounds on the troop, no grounds on the troop. No troop. My goodness gracious. No troops on the ground. No troops on the ground. I agree. But we still need to win. So there we go.
Also scaling commercial deployment across the country in manufacturing, including in the auto sector. Joining me now is Foundation Future Industries CEO, Sanket Patek. Sanket, great to have you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. First, let me get your reaction to what you heard from the Microsoft AI CEO, that all those jobs are turning to automation. You also have the CEO of Anthropic, Dario, who also made a similar comment. He said, and he's probably like the most safety-focused CEO in the AI industry. He says AI will eliminate 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within 1 to 5 years. Your reaction?
First, great to be with you, Maria. And I actually agree with him. It seems like increasingly more and more any kind of work that humans do today that is repetitive, anything that does not require high amounts of intellectual skill set, or even things that require high amounts of intellect.
So basically he's saying there's not going to be any jobs for dumb people. I'm sorry. I get one of these.
How dare you?
Basically, work is going to be there for highly intellectual people. So the mandate is get smarter.
Intellectual skill set that can be learned with a lot of data. All of those jobs are potentially going away, and all of them would be automated with humanoids or other forms of robots.
Here's a question. What exactly is a task of a white collar job? And if AI and robotics and everything like that is going to be eliminating those task-based roles, which with that, I do agree. Task-based roles will probably be going away, that things that can be automated. But what about the opportunity that it opens up to do other things and to maybe work on these robots, service these robots, to control them, to monitor them, to check the metrics on them, all that different type of stuff that a whole new class of quote unquote white collar work is going to come out of it. So that was it. That was it, right? And I'm happy they didn't see the entire video because I went even deeper. But here's what I want you to understand: entry level roles, they're just the starting point of any career, any job. So now what's basically happening is the requirements of an entry level role are being elevated. And that's just the way it is. Do I like it? Do I not? I don't care. What about the people that it pushes out of the market? Got to figure that out. You need to gain those skills. So one of the top comments that I had on this particular video was the person bets that Techcoach Ralph, doesn't give up my job to work on robots. What? Come on, dude. Quit telling people what to do while you do what you want. I mean, I do what I do what I want. I'm just being honest. I do what I want. All right. It says white collar workers will not service robots. Why the hell not? Stop the cap. What you should do is what I should be focused on. What I should be focused on? Release the unredacted files. Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear. Hold on to the truth and to hope. All right. All right. So that comment, it was really good, right? I do not hold on to hope. I do not believe in hope unless it is a person named Hope, and I believe, and I know that they exist, so I do believe that hope does exist, and that, but I do not like, oh, I hope this happens. I hope this happens. I'm not going to be wishing upon a star. What I do is I adjust, I pivot, I look for where the market is going, and then I go there. All right. No one is coming to save you. And now that's why I have this quote right here. Have I become your enemy because I am telling you the truth? I tell you, you need to adjust. You need to pivot. You cannot stand still while the world continues to turn. People are, I remember back in the days when Uber was fresh, Lyft was fresh, the taxi companies, they were protesting, said no, they're going to their city councilmen and their aldermen or mayors in the meetings like, no, we cannot allow Uber. We cannot allow Uber. We cannot allow Uber. Now, what is the first thing that people say? Oh, let me call an Uber. It's not, let me call a taxi. Let me call the yellow cab. Let me do this, that, and the other. No, it's let me call an Uber. Oh, just Uber Eat It. Oh, DoorDash. All of these things from technology. So now did Uber and Lyft, did Uber Eats, did they replace delivery people? Did they replace taxi drivers? You know, for the taxi drivers, I see down here in South Florida, a lot less taxis than I used to. I heard in New York, there's still plenty of taxis, but people also have the choice, the freedom to use the technology of, oh, I'm going to use Uber and I know exactly how much my ride is going to cost from point A to point B. Oh, I need to order delivery. I know exactly how much it's going to cost by the time I get it. I remember taking a taxi and it's like, oh, there's idle time, there's running time. And you're like, I'm going down the street and it ends up costing me like $20, $40. I'm like, what? Uber, I know exactly what the cost is going to be before I hail that ride. And technology creates new industries. So when you have Elon Musk and Dario Modi saying, oh, these jobs are not going to exist, X, Y, and Z. No, the jobs right now, the white collar jobs of today, are they going to exist? Probably not. Probably going to be very, very few, far in between of them. But you want to know what's going to exist? New white collar jobs. There's going to be white collar jobs to build the technology to power the robots. So to answer the question, or the statement that they bet that I would not leave my job where I do what I want, quote unquote, to work on robots. Listen, Linda. I have been working on digital robots, automation suites, automating testing for the past 14 years. Yeah, for the past 14 years, I have been building automation suites in order to test things. Now with AI, I'm able to give them more power, more context, more ideas, and I'm like orchestrating. This goes here, that goes there, and to this day, I love it. Like, oh, but, and then you know they used to say automation is going to replace, and this has been said for the past, I don't even know how long. Automated testing is going to replace manual testing. Has that happened? Absolutely not. I still manual test things from time to time when necessary, but then I quickly also automate them. And I am responsible for the quality of the products we deliver. But you know what I do? I build my own robots to validate that. So hell yeah, I work on robots. Hell yeah, I build robots. Hell yeah, I service robots. Because guess what? As things change, as technologies change, as upgrades happen, I need to make sure that my applications, my tools are still working accurately. Because you want to know why? If things go haywire, if we have an issue, they're not gonna say, my superiors are not gonna say, oh, it's the robot's fault. They're gonna say, hey, they're gonna come to me. What's going on with this? We need to make sure that this is working. And that's why I have to closely monitor what all of my robots are doing. And then we end up building dashboards. Okay, what is this robot doing? What is that robot doing? Oh, let me get a report from this robot and that robot. And something else that I want you to understand, right? So while these lower level white collar jobs, whatever those are, get replaced, not by robots, but by people who know how to manage, maintain, and service those robots through technology. It's like when you say, work on these robots, it's not the physical act of building the robot. It's the software that you're building, that you're testing, and you're gonna have like entry-level engineers, but they have to be well adapted, well versed in AI. They have to be well versed in machine learning, in prompt engineering. That is the new entry-level role, the new entry-level baseline. And you can fight, kick, and scream as much as you want. There is absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Because guess what? While we have this amazing comeback of manufacturing in this beautiful country of the United States of America, but you want to know what's gonna be part of those manufacturing jobs? Technology, AI, automation. It's not going to be how it was back in the 40s, 50s, World War I, World War II times, where you have the line and people are doing things manually over and over and over and over again. No, we're going to need smart people. A lot of smart people. You don't have to be a genius, but you need to know how to work your way around technology. And that's why they're working on educating, re-educating the workforce on how to be more well-versed in technology. The biggest issue that we have is when people are so against new technology, against AI. AI is demonic. AI is the devil. Whatever, right? At the end of the day, if you want to survive in this tech field, in entry levels, if you're going to college, think you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and there is no foundation, you didn't do any research, you are going to fail, and fail miserably. Whatever it is that you do, you could be a psychologist, a psychology major, whatever. But if you think that I am going to do this without the use of AI, and it doesn't have to, what you need to understand, robots, automation, AI, those are just tools. The same way you have a hammer, a drill in your toolbox is the same way you have a robot you have automation, but you are the one that's responsible for it at the end of the day. You have to understand that. And if you think I'm going to coddle you, baby you, give you a hug, hold you in my arms while you fail and lose, I don't do that. That is not me. Maybe, just maybe I am the boogeyman, but you know what? I am the boogeyman who loves you and cares for you, and I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you know, it's going to be all right. It is not going to be all right. If you do nothing, it will not be all right. You have to advance your skill set. You have to grow. You have to win. That is the only option. Nobody cares. Is it fair? Is it not fair? I think asking if something is fair is a useless question, because fairness is perception. Winning and losing, there's a clear outcome, and I don't want you to lose. I want you to win. So what are you going to do about that? Are you going to cry and mope, complain, or are you going to acquire the necessary set of skills so that you can be dominant? Am I your enemy? Let me know. Am I your enemy? Because I tell you the truth. I tell you what's happening. I tell you how to adjust. But it might not make you feel good. It might not make you feel good. But I'd rather you feel bad and win and love me later, or instead of I lie to you, I make you feel good, and then you have nothing. Do I do what I want? Yes, but I also do what I need to do. I do what is valuable. What I want to do is what is valuable. If you reset your mind, if what you want, find out what's valuable first and find a way to make yourself want to do it. That's the secret. That is the formula to succeeding. Let me know your thoughts below. Drop me a comment. Am I off on this? Am I the boogeyman? Do you hate me? Am I your enemy now because I am telling you the truth on how to win? Or do you find this valuable? If you do find it valuable, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. And if you don't find it valuable, then dislike it. But still, subscribe and share and hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live. As well, techcoach.dev. Join us for Vibe Code and Chill. Get access to Resume Flow, to Brilliant's coaching portal, and the Speak Precisely app. And join us for our Scrum Nights. So where the Tech Barbarians, they go over the past 2 weeks of work, the next 2 weeks of work. We plan that out and we get to work. A lot of AI stuff happening over there. A lot of development, software development, so that you can help yourself win. Lastly, join us on Discord, Team Techcoach Ralph. The link is in the description. Join us. Let's continue the conversation. Let's help each other win. Until next time, friends, Techcoach Ralph, we are out.
Ain't no days on. The way isn't trending. You don't bleed in practice, you die in the field. Look, swinging the wood till my knuckles are bleeding. I don't need rest, it's the combat I'm needing. 10,000 hours, I'm locked in the zone. Carving my spirit right down to the bone. Stepping my radius, watch how I sever. I'm swinging this blade like I do this forever.